They told you these were new cities being built, grand symbols of progress at the dawn of the industrial age. But what if these so-called construction sites were actually archaeological digs, places where entire city blocks were being uncovered, not built? Imagine, for a moment, the classic 19th century photographs, men in suspenders and bowler hats, hard at work with pickaxes and wheelbarrows. Look closer and you'll notice something peculiar. Windows, doors, and entire facades half buried beneath layers of earth. The official story: expansion, modernization, urban development. But there's a different story, one they desperately tried to bury. This is the smoking gun of the Tartarian cover-up, the mud flood. And now, for the first time, we can pinpoint the exact years the world changed forever. The year was 1816, remembered by historians as the year without summer. Global temperatures plummeted, crops failed, and societies reeled from hunger and confusion. But as we dig deeper into newly uncovered records, a far more sinister narrative emerges. Across continents, diaries, newspaper clippings, and merchants' logs record a bizarre and terrifying phenomenon. In Boston, a merchant wrote, "The clay came down like warm batter, filling streets to second stories in 3 days." In St. Petersburg, an architect's report stated plainly, "We didn't build the first floor, we excavated it." These were not isolated incidents, nor were they the result of ordinary floods or seasonal storms. Forensic geology tells the tale the textbooks omit. Across the globe, sediment layers up to 15 feet deep blanket city after city. In Moscow, a 12-foot layer of fine compacted silt sits between the natural soil and the oldest street level. In New York, the same composition stretches 15 feet deep. Paris, 9 feet. And the most remarkable detail? Each of these deposits dates back to the same narrow window, 1812 to 1820. Scientists have analyzed these layers, confirming they are not the result of ordinary river flooding or landslides. The minerals, the consistency, the abruptness of the deposit all point to a single, catastrophic event, global in scale. Consider the buildings themselves. Today, we stroll past ornate 19th century structures with tall windows half buried underground, entryways that lead to what are now called basements or sub-basements. But this architectural oddity isn't confined to one city or style. It's everywhere. Blueprints reveal the truth hiding in plain sight. Take Chicago's City Hall. The original 1805 plans show a 4-story marvel. But by 1820, official renovation documents list just 3 floors above ground, and a new basement added below. What happened to that missing floor? Why do so many historic buildings show evidence of doors and windows that once opened onto fresh air, but now face packed earth? Modern technology has begun to peel back the layers of this mystery. Thermal imaging and ground-penetrating radar scans reveal vast networks of tunnels and hidden chambers beneath the foundations of new 19th century cities across North America, Europe, and Asia. Official explanations dismiss these as mere storage, coal chutes, or abandoned infrastructure. But the sheer scale and complexity of these subterranean spaces raise a different possibility. These were once the vibrant ground floors of thriving cities, suddenly entombed and forgotten. The human cost of this event is as harrowing as the physical evidence. Survivor accounts, long dismissed as folklore or exaggeration, now take on new significance. The Arkansas Gazette, April 1822, reported, "Refugees from the north speak of great cities swallowed whole, their spires barely protruding. Orphanage records from New Orleans reveal a staggering influx, over 40,000 children arriving between 1821 and 1823, many unable to communicate in any known language. Their origins? A mystery. Those records, like so many others from this era, were conveniently destroyed in an 1857 fire, erasing the final traces of their story. Yet, the memory of the mud flood survives in the world's oldest traditions. Native American petroglyphs in the caves of the Mississippi Delta depict a great mud rain descending from the sky, bearing the land and its people. The imagery is strikingly similar to legends from Siberia's Tartar region, proof that this was not a localized disaster, but a worldwide cataclysm. If the mud flood was real, if it truly reshaped cities and civilizations across the globe, then why is it missing from our history books? The answer lies in the systematic cover-up that followed. In 1893, the Smithsonian Institution received 47 crates labeled pre-deluge architecture, relics from a world that existed before the mud. Samuel Langley, the director at the time, made a chilling diary entry, ordered the anomalous materials destroyed. The evidence, gone. Even the great expositions of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, most notably the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, played their part in rewriting history. Ostensibly, these were celebrations of progress, innovation, and culture, with grand demonstration excavations showing off the construction of new buildings. In reality, these digs were carefully staged, designed to normalize the sight of unearthed structures and explain away the sudden appearance of buried marvels. The perfect cover, hiding destruction as construction. So, what does this mean for us today? Every time you walk past an old building with windows at your feet, every time you descend into a basement with arched ceilings and ornate pillars, you are standing atop a forgotten world, a silent testament to a chapter of history that was never meant to be uncovered. The mud flood apocalypse was not just a disaster, it was an erasure. The survivors scattered, their languages and identities lost to time, the orphans of New Orleans, the buried spires of St. Petersburg, the tunnels below Chicago, all remnants of a civilization wiped away, then paved over by those who inherited the world that followed. But the evidence is everywhere, if you know where to look. Geological layers, architectural blueprints, survivor testimonies, and suppressed artifacts, each a puzzle piece in the greatest mystery of hidden history. And as we dig deeper, the outlines of Tartaria begin to emerge. A culture advanced beyond its time, devastated by a cataclysm, and deliberately erased. The story doesn't end here. In the next chapter, we confront the most haunting question of all. What happened to the children of Tartaria? 250,000 souls vanished without a trace. Their fate remains one of history's greatest enigmas. So next time you walk the streets of your city, look down. The truth is, quite literally, beneath your feet, waiting, perhaps, for you to uncover it.